Hello, learners. Welcome back to Wizartist. Today, we are going to be continuing our Vedic math series, Chapter 2 Addition. In this chapter, we are going to be learning how to do addition using the drop 10 method and then to check whether our calculation is correct or not using Navshesh. Navshesh is a concept that we learned in the previous video, so do check that video out if you haven't yet. Moving forward, let's start with the drop 10 method. In words, basically the drop 10 method is used to add 3 or more numbers. The key to this method is to never count above 10. How? We're going to understand that with an example. So whenever the total becomes more than 10, then we add a dash or period, dot, whatever you call it, to represent the value of 10, and then use the remaining digits for the further addition. Let's understand better with the help of an example. The example over here is 35 plus 14 plus 15 plus 41. First, we're going to start off with adding the ones digits like we do in a typical conventional method. So 5 plus 4 is 9. Adding 5, which is the next number, to 9, we get 14. Now over here, 14 is bigger than 10, right? It's greater than 10. So we are going to be adding a dash in front of 5, right? Because upon adding 5, we're getting a number greater than 10, so we add a dash. Now, we're going to move on with the ones digit. The ones digit of 14 is 4, so we are going to be continuing with 4. The next number that we have is 1, so we're going to do 4 plus 1, that is 5. Let's simply write that down. Next, we're going to move forward to the tens part, tens numbers. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. So the final answer that we get here is 9. But stop. We don't write down 9. Writing down 9 over here would be wrong because we have a carry forward over here. To justify that carry forward, we are going to add 1 to the number that we have got, the sum that we have got. The sum over here is 9. Adding 1 to 9, we are going to get 10. Now, do we always have to add 1 to the sum of the next part, the next column? No. The number that we're going to be adding is going to be the number of dashes we have. Suppose we had another dash over here, then we would be adding 2 to 9, right? If we had another, then here we have 3 dashes in total, then we would have added 3 to 9. So that is how it works. As you can see, it's written over here, add number of dashes from carry forward to carry forward, right? So the number of dashes we have in the previous column is the number that we're going to be adding to the sum. So therefore, we get the answer as 105. Now, as I'm explaining it, it might seem a little time consuming, but when you do it quickly, mentally, or inside of a paper faster, it's going to take a lot less time than what the typical conventional method takes. Now let's try this method for larger numbers. We have the example over here as 236 plus 117 plus 151 plus 451. Now, this is going to take a lot of time if we just do the first two numbers, then add their sum to this, then add their sum to this. Like, you literally have to do addition 3-4 times. But with Vedic math, let's do all 4 of these numbers together. Adding the first ones digits, we get 6 plus 7, that is 13. 13 is greater than 10, so we are going to be taking a carry forward in the form of a dash, and then we're going to be continuing with the ones digit, that is 3 over here. Moving on to the next number, 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So we're going to be writing down 5 below. Now let's move on to the next part, that is 3 plus 1 plus 5 plus 5, that is 14. Okay, now we have to just write down the ones digit and then we're going to put a dash. So first of all, let's just put a carry forward dash in front of 5. Now, are we going to put down 4? No, because in the previous column is this one, we have 1 dash, right? So we are going to be adding 1. As we learned previously using the last example, the number of dashes we have in the next column, we're going to be adding that number to the final answer of the next column, right? This might get a little confusing, But let's understand again with this example, right? So when we add all of these digits, we get 14, right? Now, 14 is greater than 10, so we are going to be putting a dash over here. Then we have the remaining digit 4, that is the ones digit. But let's check the previous column once. The previous column has a dash, so we're going to be adding that 1 because it is the carry forward. And that's when we get 5, which is what we're going to be writing down over here. Now let's see again for the next column. This will help us clear the concept even more. The next column is 2 plus 1, that is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. Now, are we going to write down 8 over here as it is? No, that is going to be wrong. Why? Because when we check the previous column, it has one dash, right? You can see that they have a dash over here. So what we're going to be doing is adding 1 to 8, that is the carry forward, and then writing down that digit, which is 9 in this case. Therefore, the sum of these four 3-digit numbers is going to be 955. We are going to be doing more examples for this for you to understand this better in a later video. Now let's move on to the next concept for today's video, that is Navashesh to check addition. Once you have done your calculation, you need to be confirmed whether the answer is correct or not, right? So this is a simple quick trick to do so. Let's understand it theoretically and then move on with an example to understand it better. Find the Navashesh of addends and sum them and Navashesh of the answer. So now we need to find out the Navashesh of addends and the answer. If you're wondering what are addends is basically the numbers to be added. So we find the Navashesh of each and every addend that is there. Once we find out that those Navasheshas, we're going to sum them, right? We're going to add their sum, and then we're going to find the Navashesh of that sum as well, right? So we get the Navashesh of the addends Navashesh, and then we're going to find the Navashesh of the answer, which is the final answer that you're getting. We're going to find out the Navashesh of that. If both the values, that is, the two values that we have over here is the sum of Navashesh of addends and the Navashesh of the answer. Okay, so we have two values here. If both are equal, then the calculation is correct. Now, in words, this is a bit complex. Let's look at an example that will make it a lot easier to understand. The example that we have over here, the sum that you're given is 123 plus 675, and the answer given is, the answer that we found, suppose, is 798. Now, we're having a doubt whether this is correct or not. So what we're going to do is first we're going to find the Navashesh of the first addend. So, okay, here are the addends. There are two addends, 123 and 675. These two numbers are called addends. Right, so these are a few mathematical terms that I'm using, but I'll be explaining them side by side as well. So we're going to find the Navashesh of the addends. The first addend is 123. So we learned that Navashesh is the digital root, the sum of digits, which is going to be 1 plus 2 plus 3 over here, and thus we get 6. And then we're going to find it for the next number, 675, 6 plus 7 plus 5, which is 18. Now we learned that a Navashesh cannot be a two-digit number, so we're going to be adding 1 plus 8 to get the final Navashesh 9. Now let's find the Navashesh of the sum. So first you go on finding the Navasheshas, okay? Navashesh of the addends, 1, 2, and then the Navashesh of the sum, the answer. This is basically the answer, 7 plus 8 plus 9, 24. 2 plus 4, 6. So the final Navashesh is going to be 6. Once you've found out the Navashesh of all the values that you have, you move on to add the Navasheshas of the addends. The addends, that is 123 and 675. Their Navashesh is 6 and 9. Adding 6 and 9, what do you get? 15, right? You get 15. Now, are we going to be comparing 15 now? No, because we need to find the Navashesh of 15 as well. Right? So basically, if you're adding the two numbers and you're not getting a single digit number, make it a single digit number. How do you do that? Simple, Navashesh. So we're going to find the Navashesh of 15, 1 plus 5, and 6. So 6 is equals to 6, right? That's basic math. And therefore, the answer is correct. These two values that you're getting is true. If you are still not clear, I'm going to be posting another video with the examples of the drop-in method, combining it with checking addition using Navshesh, making it much more clear for you. So thank you guys, this was it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.